כל השנה הלכות בכל יום מובטח לו שהוא בן העולם הבא. חודש טוב ומבורך, the 30th of Av, the first day of חודש אלול, ראש חודש. What?
Today, first day? Tomorrow.
It's the first day of Rosh Chodesh. There's 2 days of Rosh Chodesh, so we address it as the first day of Rosh Chodesh, 30th of Av. Okay? Which is Thursday also, happens to be 5th day of the week of Parashat Shoftim this year. Be'ezrat Hashem, we're learning to do mitzvot today. Mitzvot number 557 and 558 are related. That as much as a person rapes a girl, and 557 tells us if he raped her, now he must marry her. Obviously, we'll discuss right now with her permission. If she wants to marry him. Then the mitzvah number 558, once they're married, there's a mitzvah isudor. What?
She doesn't, don't marry.
She doesn't have to marry him. Then she'll be compensated. There is a knas, a penalty of raping a virgin, which is 50 silver coins. But then there is more than that. But many people don't know. There's about a couple of $1 million, maybe even $1 billion he's going to have to pay for anything else. The embarrassment depends on the value of her. If she's David HaMelech's daughter, what happens to him? Obviously, he's not going to get killed. There is no killing for raping, but embarrassing a daughter of a king, it's more than a couple of $1,000s. It's going to be in if not billions. Mitzvah number 558, the prohibition of divorcing her. Once he marries her, if they decided to get that she says, listen, I'm raped now. The whole world knows I'm raped. Nobody's going to marry her, right? And that's how it was in the olden days. Which maybe it's kedai to point out, there's a clear Rashi. Sounds like from Rashi, a person should not marry a divorcee. There's a clear Rashi. Everybody's afraid to talk about this Rashi. But there's a Rashi in Parshat Ki Titzeh that says clearly, if a man marries a divorcee, in the end he'll divorce. That it says Rashi clearly. That's from Kana Raya. He's learning it in the Pasuk. The way the Torah wrote, that if a man marries a divorcee, he'll get divorced. Okay, but anyway, let's put that on a side note. So same thing, it's like the same thing here. A man who is going to marry, let's say, this raped girl, right? It's going to be Shaila. What? So nobody wants her. In that instance, she has no choice. She'll get married to him. But it's not going to be, what's his name? Freebie. It's not going to be freebie. You went ahead and you raped the girl. And obviously, who's doing the raping? Today's society will be the rich people. Because they feel they could get away with anything. And the Torah comes and says to this rich guy, okay, now you have to do whatever she wants. What does she want? She's going to all of a sudden have a different taste of, till now she drove Volkswagen, those Oldsmobile. You remember the car? Oldsmobile still? It's out of print. she drove Oldsmobile. After this guy raped her, all of a sudden she has a new taste. It's called what? Tesla. Rolls Royce. It's a Tesla, come on. Rolls Royce, electric. She wants now. He can't be divorced her. Even if she doesn't have children. We have a rule. After 10 years, if a woman doesn't have children, halas, he has to let her go, get another one. Right? So, in this case, this guy would not be able to divorce her. He could take a second wife to give children with, but this one he will be prohibited. So that's Be'ezrat Hashem. It's what our sponsor today, Lulu Nishmat. אהרון בן רחל, וגם להבדיל לרפואה שלמה על כל חול עמו ישראל, בכללם ליעקב בן רחל. אוקיי. אהרון בן משה, it's supposed to say נשמת. Okay, let it go. We already said it. רפואה שלמה על כל חול עמו ישראל, my dear friend, רחמנא ליצלן, this guy saved my life once. His name is Daniel Ben Angela. רפואה שלמה, he calls me up like a week ago. He was, I don't know, he discovered cancer or something. Young boy, a little bit younger than me. רפואה שלמה על כל עמו ישראל. That boy that was hit, what's his name? He fell off the car right here 2 days ago, no?
Here?
Yeah, huh?
Here?
Yeah,
Thank God he's better.
He's getting better already, Baruch Hashem. Unfortunately, Ben Leah, Avi something, Avi Ben Leah, whatever. Hashem knows what I'm talking about. And Yosef Chaim Mafrat and Chaya Bat Leah. Unfortunately. Mitzvah number 557. מצווה על האונס שאיסה אונסתו לאישה שנצטווה האונס נערה בתולה שאיסה אותה לאישה שנאמר a man who goes and rapes a virgin girl, she's not married, not engaged to anybody, he goes ahead and he performs this avira. It says over there in Sefer Devarim 22nd chapter 29 pasuk ולא תהיה לאישה, she shall be his wife now ושייתן לאביה 50 כסף. And then he has to pay to her father 50 silver coins. We already learned from this mitzvah what? There are people, usually rich people, that they feel they have privileges and everything. Privilegia. and they could do whatever they want, right? They get excited with this girl. They don't want to marry her. They just want to do the act of marriageable act without marrying her, and he thinks he will get away with everything. This is to stop this, to prevent this kind of people. The Torah gave us this mitzvah. We don't want Jewish girls to be like a shmata, like a piece of trash. שאם יחשוב האונס למלות נפשו בה, וילך לו יקל בעיניו לעשות כן פעמים הרבה. If we allow this person to do whatever, they're going to get used to the kind of actions. They take one virgin, and a second virgin, a third virgin. Like today, what do you think the pedophiles are doing? Right? This whole thing, somebody said beautiful yesterday. Was a goy. Sometimes a goy has chokhmah. What does he say? He says, why you think this pedophile governments, most pedophiles are government agencies that, they knew. I was growing up, we knew that Arafat was delivered, the FBI delivered to him poison to enjoy himself with. And then they killed the boys. That was a normal thing, unfortunately. But it's not only, so you thought only Arafat. No, that's the club. That's how they bribe people. That's how these politicians are bribed. They expose them to pleasures of this world with little kids. So now what are they doing? They have this new concept that an 8-year-old girl or a boy could decide that they could be a boy or a girl, right? And nobody could say no. Why did they do that? Why are they pushing this? Why are governments pushing for this? It's tomorrow when they're going to be arrested. In court, they could argue and say, if what a pedophile, he rapes an 8-year-old girl or sleeps with her without raping her, right? They'll say, wait, if she could change her ability from boy to a girl, she could make such a decision. What, she cannot make a decision to be in the bed with me? It's a whole plan. There's a whole plan of this government.
2 days ago, somebody won the lifting.
Yeah.
But it's transgender. He will competition with
comparing with a woman. Okay, I got you.
So women were practicing all the time.
Oh, for nothing. That's right. That's right.
Coming and
That's
take
right.
it.
So it's a point. It's a point to make that they're trying to teach. Right now, they're trying to change the society. Who is doing this? The governments who are raping little kids, or they're not raping them. The children want it, right? They bribe the kids. The children go with them. So now, when they're going to get in front of the judge, that will be the argument. The argument will be the law says.
No, they're brainwashing the kids from the public school.
That's right. That's already started at the age of 5, and that's why I have a lot of beef against Agudas Yisrael, and all those big organizations. That's what they were supposed to do. They're there for this purpose. What is the purpose? To fight tooth and nail that even in public schools they shouldn't teach a 5-year-old what happens between man and a woman after they get married. They don't care. Agudas Yisrael tells me we can't fight such a things. Why? Because we fight only battles that we win, that we know we're gonna win. That's not what a Jew is all about. Jew is when you see injustice being performed, you stop it. You scream from the top of your lungs. That's what a Jew is. And by the way, that's how all this gays started. Who do you think the proponents of the gays movement were? Attorneys, the Jewish attorneys. The Jewish attorneys were proponents of the gay movement. Why? Because in their eyes, this was the injustice. This was the injustice, and they won. We're talking about in the 90s. Who were the prominent gay people pushers? Were the Jewish attorneys. And they won because this is the heart of a Jew. The Jew doesn't fight battles that he could only win. He must fight a battle. That was Avraham Avinu. You must fight a battle, and you're going to interrupt this. Abortion. What did the Jews say abortion in the 80s and 90s? The American Jews said what? That, no, let them kill each other. Let them have abortion. Let the goys kill a goy. And what was the proponent? The proponent is if the gangsters will kill each other, the wives will kill the gangsters, will have abortions, there will be less crime. That was the wisdom. You hear what's going on? That was the argument. It was the most disgusting argument in the world. Let the gangsters have abortions, so there'll be less gangsters. But they don't understand. That's not how Hashem runs the world. Hashem made us Avraham Avinu. What is Avraham Avinu? The whole world was on one side, doing all their garbage, and Avraham Avinu came and said, no, we don't go with the flow. That's what a Jew is. Jew is, we don't go with the flow. It's a beautiful thing. I heard from Rabbi Abramov over here. It's a chidush. He had a question, what's going on with the fish? Why does fish have scales and fins? It's because you can't go against the stream if you don't have the water bouncing off of you. It's amazing. What is the fish? The scales, apparently, the stream, they go against the stream, and the water doesn't win with them. Why? Because the water pushes against the scale, just bounces it off. So that means shark cannot go against the flow. Any fish that does not have scales can go against the flow. And why the Jewish people compare it to the kosher fish, obviously? If we compare it to a fish, we're not compared to a shark. We're compared to a little porgy, a little fish with scales that goes against the stream. And that's what a Jew is supposed to do. They don't understand this. Good, big organizations, we founded Hatzolah, Agudas Yisrael, with a little nuance. A goy says something, a man can hear a son. They kiss the hand of a goy. Why? Because we can't fight with the goyim. Who told you? You must fight. That's what the Jewish aspect is. To stop all this avirot of this frivolity, disparaging, disregarding a girl, going ahead and rape her. Oh, let me pay her. You know how much you're going to pay? We'll let you know how much you're going to pay. You know how much, Ovadia? She's going to get married to you. That's the next mitzvah, 58 also. She's going to get married to you, and she's going to want to have a Rolls Royce, and she's going to want to have what? 15 servants. For every toenail, she's going to have a servant, to make sure her toenails are done properly, and her nails, because you raped her. You wanted beauty, right? So now she has to stay beautiful for you all the time. So you have all those billions of dollars? Halas, let's teach you a lesson. Let's teach you a lesson. Okay? אבל בדתו שתהיה קשורה עמו ומוטלת עליו כל ימיו לחיוב שער כיסות ועונה. ואפילו אם יקוץ בה, even if he hates her, he can't divorce her, get rid of her anymore. הקדוש ברוך הוא says, yeah, now you're stuck. לא לרשות לגרשה לעולם, ושתחייב ליתן לאביה 50 כסף. Now, on top of that, he has to give 50 coins to her father. מיד באמת יכבוש אצרו, וימנע לה לעשות הנבלה עם הכנס הזה. If a person knows, listen, I'm stuck. It's going to cost me $1 billion, this little thing. Who needs her? Who needs her? Stay away from her. Don't touch her. That's the beauty of this mitzvah. Right? וגם יש בזה קצת תנחומין על העניין המבוישת שתישאר עמו לעולם פן יבשנה איש אחר בדבר הרע שיראה לה. Imagine this girl here. This girl was raped, and this guy doesn't marry her. Somebody else marries her. What is that? So what happens is now they have a fight. Usually husband and wife. It's a I tell, it's haram. It's haram. Why there's so many divorces? I'll tell you why. My opinion, at least. What was the previous generation taught, and everybody, it was a good thing. Don't fight in front of your kids. Nobody fought in front of the kids, so it's a good thing. The problem is the goyim came with the television and the exposure and so much to mind the world. So the husband and wife fight in front of the kids. All of a sudden, now there's divorces. I fight in front of my kids on purpose. Why? So my kids know not to divorce. I'm staying married to my wife. I'm not divorcing her. So now the kids say, you don't have to actually divorce after a fight? You hear the chokhmah? You actually don't have a divorce after a fight. The generation grew up. No, the generation grew up thinking the fight is no good. So now that they're fighting, I never saw my father and mother fight. So now I'm fighting with my wife. I have to divorce. Haram. I think the opposite. See, I'm always thinking out of box. Maybe there is a good thing in it. Maybe there is. So my kids, but for sure, my kids know I'm fighting with my wife. Tooth and nail. Sometimes a wife goes berserk. I go upset. The kids see it. So now in their mind, and then the next day, everything is good. Okay. Halas. They could live also like this, no problem. That's right. That's what I think. But anyway, so here that's what we say. So this person is what? He's going to fight with her, right? The next guy, the second guy who married her, is going to fight with her. What is he going to do? She said something hurtful to him. What is he going to tell her? Oh, you know why you're bad? Even the guy raped you. Even the guy raped you. That guy raped you. So there's going to be always bad feelings. He's going to remind her of the Averah. So, therefore, the Torah says, who raped her has to marry her. So she doesn't have to, one time, the husband is going to prick her that she was raped once. The Torah thinks of everything. Everything is beautiful here. No, there's a lot of laws about this mitzvah. ונוהג מצווה זו לעניין הקרע פירעון הקנס בזכרים בזמן הבית שיש כוח בידינו לדון דיני קנסות. Again, all this is a knas. In the time of Beit HaMikdash, this was the rules about knasot, only at the time of Beit HaMikdash. Today we don't have a Beit Din to charge knasot. We can't charge people fines. ולעניין שיסען האונס אף בזמן הזה היא מצווה עליו. Mitzvah today, if a person, a boy, raped a girl, All right, this happens very often right now because chas v'shalom, and that's what I was fighting with Agudas Yisrael. I was fighting with many rabbonim. I said, "What are you doing?" America had a law, not so recent, not so 100 years ago, less than 100 years ago. 12 years old, up to 12, you could get married with parents' permission. They changed it like 30 years ago to 14. 7 years ago, there was a fight. A new congresswoman in Staten Island came up with an idea, 16. When I heard that, I said, that's Atkan already. Why? Because by us, Faradim, where I grew up, Ahmad al boys kid around with girls, 14, 15, they have relations. So what we do, we marry them off. At 15, 16, we marry them off. With both parents' permission, let the guy go to work, whatever it is, she gets educated, whatever she gets educated, and build a family. He raped her already. Now she's pregnant. What are you going to do?
At what age?
At 14, 15. The government allowed it.
I met a girl 24. She told me
Now, so I told you, just a second. So I went in there, I fought with everybody. I said, so Agudas Yisrael told me, sorry, Rabbi, we're not going to win the war, we're not going to fight it. So now they changed the law to 16. I'm starting to, I want to marry off my boys, my kids, as early as possible. I'm against all this business, marry them off late. Chas v'shalom. So, if anything, 100 years ago, 150 years, you don't see outside what they saw. We don't see, they didn't see what we see today outside. You go out, a Baltica, you know that big truck with a beer from Russia, and a nice blondie naked girl standing over there with bikini, that's it? Half a bikini even?
what is that? What do you mean?
This is what the truck's delivering beer. This is what my boys see in the street. What do you want them to be? No, they should control themselves. Why control themselves? We're not goyim. There is no control when it comes to this opinion. There is no control between boys and girls' actions. I hold that you should marry them off right after bar mitzvah. That's what questions asked. If anything, this is the generation. This is not cases. What we're doing today, we're destroying our own family. We're destroying our own generations.
Early? You said?
Everybody should get married early. Okay? So now what happened?
Girl 25, she said I'm too young. It's crazy.
There is no limit to crazy. Anyway, okay? Today, so there is a rape. Today, and mefateh, or he seduced her, and that's what happens. A 13, 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old girl, she's been seduced by a 15-year-old hunk. She doesn't know anything else. She watches on television the whole day. They have crush. They talk about it, and the girls think it's a good thing to have a crush on a boy. And now he seduced her, and now they went. They've been discussing it, and now he did with her the maaseh. He must marry her. What is his business? No, they're not mature. Show me a 40-year-old mature person. Let me know. I'll let you. Let me know. Show me one 40-year-old. I'll let you. Come on, who's mature today? You get married and you build a family. But Dusha or Betaora, and not Chas Shalom. The other way. 558. So it's the same kind of concept. Shelo yigaresh ha'ones. Same thing. Shenimna ha'ones b'legaresh onasato le'olam. A man who raped a woman, he's prohibited to divorce her ever. It says over there, the fact that he tortured her, he subdued her to such a low life behavior. Now he's never allowed to divorce her. We already discussed everything till now in the previous mitzvah. Now, וזה הלאו אמרו זיכרונם לברכה במסכת המכות, it's discussed over there, מסכת המכות, כדאי to learn it a few more minutes, in page 15 עמוד א', שכבר קדמו העשה, this mitzvah was already preceded by a commandment to marry her, והעושה מה שאמר הכתוב ולא תהיה לאישה. The Torah told us, 557, he must marry her. ושם נאמר, it says, אונס שגירש את אשתו, over there it says, את ישראל הוא מחזיר אותה ואינו לוקה. The Gemara says, if it's a Jew, Israeli, not a Kohen. If it's a Israel, he must marry her back. Because the prohibition was fixed by a commandment. If it preceded it, it says that she should be his wife. If a Kohen, when they had him rape the girl and then he divorced her, so if it's Israel, he doesn't get lashed because he could marry her back, but the Kohen gets lashed because he's not allowed to marry her back. The Torah tells us the Kohen is allowed to marry a divorcee. Since the Kohen divorced her, he can never marry her back. Therefore, he gets lashed. ומתה קודם שיחזרנה או שנישאת האחר שהרי אינו יכול עוד לקיים מעשה לא כעל כל פנים. If a Jewish boy, Israeli, raped her, married her, divorced her, she went ahead and got married to somebody else, or she dies after he divorced her without marrying her back, now he gets lashed. That's the Gemara. Okay? ואף על פי שהוא לא ביטל עליו בידו ממש, אלא שנתבטל בסיבה חייו, מלכות מכיוון שאינו יכול עוד לקיים מעשה. You ought to say, what's his problem that she died? He could have married her if she was alive. Well, what's his problem that she got married to somebody else? You're right, but he broke the aseh. He broke the commandment. He broke the Torah. The Torah told us you already broke the lo taseh. By divorcing her, he already broke. Now that he cannot fulfill the aseh, it's his problem. He shouldn't have divorced her. Okay, וקיבלו לו קיום כאשר כתבתי בסדר זה בלאו חטא. As we already explained, he will have to be, she'll remain married to her. She will be remain married to him for the rest of his life. And we should never know such a things. The Jewish girls are not free to do whatever you want. Ella, behaving with our Jewish compadres, as they say, bigdusha ubitahora. If you need to make money, make it without any headache.